Hello everyone, this is MJ and you are at my channel called Reading This Life. My channel is where we talk fiction, friends, and fun. Today, let's talk about what happened in October. Stay tuned. Welcome if you are brand new, welcome back if you are a new subscriber, welcome back if you are a longtime subscriber. It is fantastic to see you. We're in November. October had so much potential. Oh, I love the month of October for so many reasons. It honestly is one of my top 3 favorite months of the year. I went into that month with so much energy, so much motivation, and I ended that month so flat. So let's talk about what happened. All right, number 1, I created an event for October that I hardly showed up for. What are you going to do? Occult Detective October. Thank you so much for all of my co-hosts, for putting up their videos, reading occult detective fiction, for promoting Occult Detective magazine, for helping our friend Dave Brzezinski and John Linwood Grant. It's a fantastic periodical that you should all check out. Yeah, so on October 11th, the week of October 11th, actually, I'd probably say the week before, I was writing a story for submission. And I had this story in my head, I'd say for at least a good month. And usually I like to formulate the characters in my head first before I sit down and put them on paper. So when it came to sit, I started working on it and nothing was just grabbing. Nothing was like magic. Nothing said to me, this is how it's supposed to be. So I had a little bit of a struggle there. And finally, I was able to get out of it. And finally, things started clicking. And I'm like, all right, I'm on a good track now. So I put a lot of time and attention into that because that was due on the 12th of October. And I did get it in on time. And then I got sick. I got sick on the 11th of October, probably from all the stress. And it just took over everything. I struggled with work. I struggled at home. I was taking medication over the counter. I was sleeping a lot. Like, I don't gobble books up when I'm sick. I sleep, baby. I sleep. And I tried to just rest and recuperate my body. So I finished 2 books that I know of. Let me get my scribe just to make sure. I started a bunch. But I just couldn't keep up with them. All right, so that's November TBR. Let's get into GoodReads. I completed 2 things in October. No joke. So the first thing that I read was for the banned book group that we have over on Fable called I'm With the Band. It's where a whole bunch of us got together because we want to read the banned books that people are challenging and banning, and we want to know what's in them and what they're all about. We want to read them for ourselves, and we want to raise awareness to them. So the first one that the one that was picked for this past month was Oryx and Crake by Margaret Atwood. That is a dystopian novel. That is a heavy book. Heavy for a number of reasons. I don't think I'm going to do a full review on it because I honestly said, as soon as I finished the book, I said, this needs another reread. This needs another reread because there's something in the narrative that just quite didn't click with me. But Margaret Atwood is a hell of a writer. And this is, I believe, 1 in a trilogy. And it gave me... At one point, I considered putting the book down. I considered it to DNF. because I got uncomfortable. And I said to myself, when you get uncomfortable, keep going, because there's something there. There's something there that she wants you to explore. She wouldn't put that narrative in there for just shits and giggles, you know? She wants you to explore that within you, within society, within whatever. So I kept going and I finished it. And as soon as I finished it, I'm like, I'm going to have to dive back in. Overall, I thought the book was good. I thought the writing was fabulous, because I forgot half the time that a woman was writing this. The story was very intriguing. The story led me down a road, like I said, I didn't think I would go down. But I liked it. Okay, so that was the first book. Again, I'm not doing a full review. I think I put something up on GoodReads and on StoryGraph. But I'm going to wait until I read the second book, because I do want to read the trilogy. I want to read, I think there's all three in the series. But it's not, the section that's in that book is not for the faint of heart. And I can understand why there would be some raising alarms. But I still wouldn't ban it. I would leave it to parents and to librarians as to how they want to handle disseminating the book, if made available. But let's be honest, no book should ever be banned. Next. And then I read, the short story that literally took me 2 weeks to read. Joe Hill, Ushers. Loved it. I love that little sucker. And I'll tell you what, the cover on black and white does not do anything justice at all. Like, that's worth the price of admission for a color e-reader, or to buy a physical copy of it. But I love that book. Oh, I love the ending of that book. I'm very comfortable with the subject of death. I'm very comfortable with reading about death, and I'm very intrigued by this type of narrative. So if you haven't read it, it was available. Gosh, it was one of those Prime deals, read early, so you could download it for free before anybody else could read it. But I think there's like a nominal fee now. But I loved it. I haven't read a lot of Joe Hill, but I really, really did like that. So those are the two things that I read. And then between Oryx and Crake and Ushers, I had Devil's Inferno, which I started. That's by William Hortzberg. Started, maybe got through 50 pages, did not finish. Celine Shade, Resurrections for Hire, halfway through, did not finish, simply because I fell out of the story and I fell into a slump. And Ghost Talker by Bird Nash, got maybe 35-40% in and just haven't picked it back up because I was verging into a slump. And I think the reason where the slump was coming in is because I was just over being sick. I was over it. Nothing caught my attention. Nothing. I'm like, I would just scroll my library, look at my shelves, think about what books I had, think about what books I wanted to read, and nothing did it for me. It's as if my eyes were dead to my shelves, whether ebook or physical book. Slumps suck. And I didn't foresee it happening. And I think the only way that I could get out of it is to read something short and read something that I know I think I will enjoy. And that's where Ushers came in. But slumps are terrible. And you can't feel bad when a slump is going on. You can't be hard on yourself. Let's face it, okay? In our community, in the whole BookTube, BookTok, bookstagram, there is an unhealthy competition with people. about the amount of books that you read, or what type of books that you read, or the length of book that you read, or whatever. For me, I don't give a shit, honestly. You do you. That I'm going to make a t-shirt that says you do you. But honestly, like, I knew coming out of this month that I would be like, oh wow, this is like the worst month of reading that I have had in decades. Like before being on BookTube. It is what it is. It is what it is. And people go through it. Not all of us are superhuman. Not all of us want to just like plow through books. You know, I'm the type of person that likes to cozy. I like to cozy up with the book. I like to get my hot beverage. I like to get my seat. I like to get my blanket, get my dog, you know, put some music on. That's me. That's the type of reading that I love. And when I'm sick and I do that, guess what? I'm going to fall asleep. And that's what I did. And I knew that I had to recover. I knew that I had to just take care of myself. And it is what it is. So my advice to all you out there that have a channel or that want to start a channel, there's no shame. There's no shame if you can't read, you know, if you can't make 10 books a month or 5 books a month or whatever. So what? I had a heck of a good time with Joe Hill, and Oryx and Crake was quite a journey for me. And that was cool because on the Fable app, right, we do the book read, we do the group read, and then all the chapters are broken up. So it doesn't matter when you start or when you finish. You can hop in at any time, and then you can see what other people talked about in that particular chapter, which is perfect because you're not spoiling it for anyone, and you still get that community experience. So yeah, so I'm here to tell you that 2 books is way better than people that read no books, which is probably 70% of the globe, probably more. All right. So that's basically it. That's all the shit that went wrong for me in October. And what else? Oh, we had a celebration. We had a bunch of celebrations. I did a day trip. We just had fun when I wasn't feeling horrible. And that's what you have to do. You have to live outside of books too. Don't forget that. That's really important. It's really important to go out and do things and to put your tech down and to go down and see the world, because it's there for a reason, man. You know? And we had so many awesome celestial events. We had the Atlas comet. I was able to get pictures of that. I'll put one here. And what else did I see? Oh, the Aurora Borealis showed up again too. And I'll put a picture here of that too. Yeah. So like if your nose is in a book and you didn't lift your head up to go outside and see and spend some time outside, like you missed out. Sorry. All right. The good thing is that I'm on the mend and I'm feeling better. My cough has significantly cut down. And I'm getting ready for the Read What You Own challenge. So there's that. So, and I already finished 1 book for November. All right, everybody. That's my October. Let me know in the comment section down below, what has your favorite book been for the month of October? I'd be really interested to find out. And how about that extra hour we got? Yeah, extra hour for doing all the fun stuff. Make sure that you are taking care of yourself so you can take care of others, and I'll see you in my next video, whether that be sooner or later. So until next time, goodbye for now. Happy reading.